Okay, it's 10 o'clock. I will be recording this and we'll send it out like I did last time. So those who for some reason are not able to Zoom in can do so. Welcome to our Physical Facilities Safety Committee meeting. We will start with a prayer and Mark James will offer the prayer. You'll need to unmute yourself, Mark. Can you do that?
You're just fine.
Okay.
There you go. Cannot hear you, Mark.
He's on mute.
We maybe need to have a fill in here.
Good. I'm just calling to let you know that there's.
How about if we ask Jared to say the opening prayer until you can get your
There's Mark.
microphone to work? Jared, would you be willing to do that?
No problem.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Our Father in heaven, we bow our heads in humble prayer, and we're grateful for this opportunity that we have to meet as a safety committee and to discuss the things that will help us do our jobs safely and keep employees on BYU campus healthy and strong. We're grateful for the opportunity to work here and for the friendships that we share and for the teamwork that we can employ to get the jobs done that we need to do. Please bless us with thy spirit, with open hearts, and be able to know and understand our part and be able to contribute as thou would have us do. And this we pray in the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Jared. All right. The agenda is before you. First item on our agenda is the presentation from David Smith, who is the BYU Director of Environmental Health and Safety. He works at Risk Management, and he will share with us, he'll give us an overview of the resources, online resources that Risk Management provides to us as a campus community, and particularly to us in our roles as safety representatives for our shops. So Dave, would you like me to allow you to share your screen?
That'd be awesome. Thanks, Dave.
Right, let's get back here and new share. Wait, stop share and multiple participants. Okay, can you share yours now, David?
Yes. Hold on one second. I'm almost there. Here we go. I'm going to try to fix my screen a little bit. Can you see my web browser?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Zoom's pretty amazing.
Okay, cool. Hey, so thanks for letting me share this with you. This is our main website. I thought, so if you go to risk.byu.edu, there's a couple different groups there within our department. One is the Environmental Health and Safety group. There's a fire.
Sometime today.
And then there's sorry, I thought you asked a question. And then risk insurance and then training.
Okay.
So on the website, there are a bunch of, this is a whole new look. So if you haven't been to the website in the last couple months, this is totally different what it used to look like. You can kind of see these simple boxes that are right here. You can easily find kind of most used options that people look for when they go to our website. So here's some big ones I think are related to safety. If you go down the bottom, report a safety concern. A lot of people who have, just near misses or things that they're concerned about, they can click on this report a safety concern. It'll take them here and gives them just some information where to go to get that. And then another big one you guys probably have to deal with is injury and incident reporting. So it's that little person on my screen, the injured person, and it has lots of different options for different types of reports that come in. And if you do an employee injury, any kind of employee injury that you have, I highly recommend you submit it. I'll just give you a quick little short example about it. Recently, we had somebody submit an injury that was over 180 days. I don't know if you guys know this rule, but if it's over 180 days and you got hurt but you never reported it, a lot of times the government will deny your claim and deny the person actual medical care. So the benefit, the thing you guys want to remember as supervisors with your employees is always recommend if somebody gets hurt, minor or big injury, have them submit an employee injury form because sometime later down the road, let's say they get like a strain in their back or something, they may not be able to get medical care if it goes outside that 180-day window. Does that help make sense? So reporting is actually a helpful tool to help the employee, not because the risk management and safety department just want to get in your business. It's to see if we can help make sure the claim goes through smoothly. So I'll just show you really quickly because I have only a couple more minutes. If you click on environmental health and safety at the top, it'll take you to a couple things. One, on the right side, it shows this unwanted lab materials management. So if you guys were trying to ship out hazardous waste, this gives you all the links and trainings for that. I'm going to go back though. This one's environmental on the left side. It talks to you a little bit about what we do with, you know, SDSs and chemical storage and if you guys ever work with Brian Harris, he does a lot with the Clean Air Act, with our power plant, with water, with all the permitting that we have with that.
Hey, Dave?
Yeah.
Can I interject here? Can you go,
Yep.
go back to that environmental page?
You
and
got
scroll
it.
down? See
Yep.
where it says MSDS search for
Yep.
all your information. We've been putting this MSDS online out in all the shops, but this is another link to that same MSDS online website. So you can go to it through risk management as well as the link that we've been setting up on everybody's computer. I just wanted to make that comment.
That's a great comment. Thank you. And here's kind of an example, and you can do a search. And we share this database with the church. And so it has probably a lot of stuff that we don't even use on campus, but you can find it here. Thanks, Dave. And then this one right here says safety and health programs. This is kind of a big one to hit up on. This shows all the safety programs that we kind of manage, like access to medical records. If you want to know our policy on that, asbestos programs, biological. I mean, it goes down. There's quite a few, and some of them are kind of lengthy. And so let me just click on lockout tagout as an example, because that's probably one you guys would deal with a lot. It shows some contact people in risk management you can connect with that kind of help develop the program. And then if you go to the program itself, there's an executive summary that some of the employees here made in Amber's group, if you know them, if you know Amber McCorder. And then here's the actual program that we have to review. And these programs get updated and reviewed every single year per regulatory laws and per our policy. So this is like a 22-page program that talks about lockout, tagout policies, requirements, purposes, scope, and then some general just good practices, safety tips, and things like that. It's kind of long. So, you know, I highly recommend that people get familiar with it. And especially if you're doing lockout, tagout, know the different specific rules and roles that are involved and procedures. And there's a bunch of checklists and audit forms and things that we do that would be helpful. So, but let me just go back.
Also, may I make an interjection here?
Please do.
With each of these programs, there's an executive summary. So if you want to get a snapshot of it without reading through the entire thing, you can use that, do that executive summary, and that might be useful to some of you.
And Dave, this is perfect. I'm glad you're bringing this up, because this is probably one of the bigger things we're going to start developing over the next couple of years is that one is these executive summaries. We start to kind of build those, but they don't really cover everything. So what we're trying to do now is starting to build these little one-page safety things. We're going to build tons of them. Like, so one of the students last week made this one. It says, lockout, tagout, what would Cosmo do? And so you could take some of these little risk tips and things like that and just share a short message, like a one-page message. What are the roles of lockout, tagout? Why we do lockout, tagout? What's the kind of general protocol? So we'll develop a lot of these for different things like confined spaces. What's a permit and non-permit required confined space, and stuff like that over the coming years. And then, of course, there is the training side of things. So we'll start to attach trainings below here as well. And we'll start developing checklists and forms for you to better understand lockout, tagout, or share it with your group. You know, use it as training tools. But on the training, then you have all these things as well. You have Y-Train on the right side. I won't get into that because I know you guys know Y-Train. But then you can go into like training guide. I think Amber updated this about a couple months ago because she runs this program. And you can see non-academic, which is where you guys fall. There's some suggestions and a list of trainings, you know, that are accessible. So if you look through that, you can kind of say, well, my guys do driving, or my guys do ladder and scaffold use. What are the trainings available? And kind of show you a guide of, and it shows you when they need to be redone, refreshed in this chart. So anyways, I went really quick. I only had a very short couple minutes, but I thought at least give you a heads up of things we're doing, what we've started to redevelop. And if you guys have any suggestions, shoot them to us and we'll try to pull it off. So thank you again.
Thank you, David. Are there any of you who right now have a question about the risk management website? Anything that you might wonder while we have the expert here? I might just mention that this thing is continually being updated. We recommend that you get in, just as your role as a safety committee member, get into it on a regular basis and see what's new. And some of the reports, the accident report, or the reports, the official reports are actually posted on here as well, aren't they, David?
Oh my gosh, you even told me about that before I called. I'm sorry. I will show you that right now. Sorry, Dave.
Hey, Dave, can you hear me now?
Yes. Is that you, Mark?
No, it's Corey. I do have a question back on that suggested training. There was a check mark. Is that page, can we use that as a check off as to what our guys have seen? Does that make sense?
Suggested training.
I think he's talking about this right here.
Okay, that's it.
Matrix.
Because I noticed on the one there was a check mark. I just wondered, is it something we can use, or is it just a blank a document that we print? Oh, there you go. Okay, I get it now. Okay.
Yeah, you could print that. You know, here's some of the other goals that we have as well. And I'm just going to privy you to some of the stuff we're looking at doing in the future. One, we want to start redeveloping the training matrix, which is what this is. We need to start meeting with groups a little bit more and saying, hey, let's just go through anything and then find out what we're missing. Because what we're finding is a lot of groups need specialized training because their jobs are so different than just the generic stuff, you know. So for instance, in the central heating plant, I have one of my group members developing a specific respiratory training, and Dave, you know about this, for ammonia, because we have some sources of ammonia that are kind of, they're not past the 20% concentration risk that EPA requires us to do some plans. But we've asked our group to move forward and start developing stuff as if it was a higher hazard, you know, chemicals, because we just want to make sure people are taking the right steps to wear respirators and know when to go in, when not to go into an area with high ammonia levels, and when to evacuate. And so we're finding that we probably need to be helping a little bit more with individual groups with developing specific stuff. So this is good for like general, you know, training stuff that you may use, but you guys may need something special. And so reaching out to somebody like Dave Bowick, you know, who is working on a lot of these projects with us, could be really beneficial for you guys to have special trainings developed. We can do that. We can help with that. So I feel like our role is to be helpful to you guys, to build resources, develop things, and to help you guys do jobs safe as possible. So if there's a way that our group can do that for you guys, we want to be part of that.
You were going to show us the OSHA reporting, right?
Yeah, so this is on the environmental health and safety side of the website. And I'm sorry I'm taking so long, Dave.
Oh, no problem. This is good information.
Okay, so here's that MSDS search again, another link to it, which is great. Here's the OSHA form. So you guys can see, let me just pull that up so you guys can see it. Here's where it shows our, this is the form we submit every year. It's not super detailed on all of our injuries, but it just shows you a general, number of employees we have. We have just under 20,000 employees, and we work a little over 22 million man hours, and it creates a rate, which you guys have heard of, that kind of puts us in a benchmarking system. Our incident level is just below average, which is good. You don't want to be above average on the incident level. The lower the number, the better. So we're doing well. But if you look right here at this quarterly report button right here, if you click that, you can get a lot more detailed information of things going on within the risk management and environmental safety department. Like, you can kind of tells you exactly what's happening. It can give you more details. Let me go down to the part you guys will probably be more interested into. We can look at right here. So you can show you the data of the years before and the years and the quarters of injury reports and things happening, lost days, which ones. Case count comparisons.
Nope.
You can look at even injuries that we had to report to OSHA right here. Here's all the ones we had to report to OSHA in 2019. You can even see the ones where we got citations and fines. It's kind of interesting. So and it gives you a little bit of detail there as well as those citations. And that shows you where the breakdown of recordable injuries that happen on campus, which groups and where they're happening more often.
That's receiving data.
So anyways, and then there's more injury data right here. You can just go down, talks about different groups, teams within different departments, what we consider the factors that cause them. This is from your injury reports and you submit them.
That should be right.
So it's cool. And this shows you where most of our injuries fall or happen. Types, slips, falls, lifting, these are kind of our bigger ones. Anyways, there's more stuff on here. I just thought Dave thought you guys may want to see that as well. And I think it's good information.
Very good. Thank you, David. Thank you.
I took way too much time. Sorry.
No, that was great.
Okay.
We will go back to my screen here.
Hey, one question. Sorry again. Dave, can you hear me now?
Yes, who's this, Mark?
Oh, now I can't hear him.
That's because it's coming through.
Oh, he's in here now. Can you hear me, Dave?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh, sweet. Thank you. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Okay, I'm just letting you know here.
Okay, very good.
I actually had one thing I wanted to ask him, but I couldn't.
Oh, he's still on.
I'm
Why don't you
here.
ask?
Okay. Specifically, I would like to know where we would go to report that we need to have one of those big barrels of the used lamps emptied.
Yeah.
Where do I do that?
So back on that webpage, you go to the environmental section of that, and or you can go to actually the unwanted lab material, and you could submit a request for pickup.
So that's part of the lab material?
Yeah, go to the lab material. So it's almost, I know it's kind of confusing because it feels like it's so focused towards the academics group because they do a lot of the waste, the hazardous waste. But yeah, right there you can say request a pickup, and then they'll come and get all the bulbs from you, and we'll take care of them.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And will they bring a new container?
Yeah, if you ask them to do, in fact, I've told the groups as well, if you need containers or things like that, that we'll figure it out. We'll make it happen. You let us know. We want to be supportive.
Awesome. Your question, Mark? Okay, thank you again. I have on the minutes, the website address will be listed. Now down to number 2 on our agenda. Can you all see my screen now, the agenda? Okay. We have a little keychain award that we give to full-time employees who complete all of their Y-Train courses, all of them that have been identified by their supervisor. And I wanted to show you that. In fact, there's a couple of you, I believe, who have received this, but this is the keychain that we're giving. It's about an $8 keychain, nice brass, very substantial. I took a picture of the front and the back, but you might want to just be aware of that, pass the word along that if they're current on all of their trainings, we keep track and we put these out. I know Mark has one. Some of you others may have one as well. Leif qualified for one. Jared has one. But anyway, we have a big supply of these that we can get. Okay.
Like a little video on the lockout
If I can get out of this.
Hey, on that topic.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to talk about this or later, but I was thinking about, you sent us that graph a day or two ago about everybody's training, what they have completed.
Oh, yes, the monthly report.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about suggestions for the training that you do each month? The general, the one you do for everybody?
Oh, that actually comes from risk management. So
Okay.
if there are suggestions for that, yes, please send those along to me and I'll get those to Amber McWhirter is the one who is in charge of that. It's called the circuit training, the safety circuit training, and she will put that in her hopper. I think that she would welcome some input on that.
Well, I was just thinking that if we have in our shops large percentages of people who are missing certain trainings, let's just do those to help knock them out.
Well, during this period of COVID, it's a little bit harder. We used to be able to get together an entire group in one of the conference rooms. We just do it all together. In fact, I did those 2 or 3 times a week up until COVID, and then I could enter those people who were in that group. I could enter them in on Y-Train, give them credit. We can't do that as easily right now unless you want to bring some people together with masks and maybe show it in a conference room. But I think that's even looked down upon, gathering in any way. So we need to emphasize individual training at this point.
Yeah, I just meant when you send them out in the emails for people to go through, can you see who's completed or who's watched the videos that you send out in the emails?
Are you talking about the one that has come from risk management or
Yeah.
the report that I send out?
Dave, do you guys see who's watched those?
Yeah. Yep. You sure can. Yep.
So that's why I'm saying if the ones that you send out in the emails, can we choose those based on which one is being, the largest number of people are missing that training? Can we just do those to help kind of get those people caught up? And then you can see who's watched the videos, and then you can give those people credit for doing that training.
email. It said,
Yeah, if you're logged in as a single person and you're watching it as a group, just send an email to me telling me who was in the group and who saw it, and I'll make sure that they get credit.
I don't see an embedded video. It says have all your employees in your shops watch the video. I didn't see the link.
Okay. Any other questions in that regard, or shall we move on? The keychain awards, and we're going to continue doing that in the future. Wanted to also show you number 3. This is the hazard pyramid. And I think it's good for us to be aware. It's also called the Heinrich pyramid, but it through studies, it has been shown that for every death by a safety accident, there are usually up to 600 near misses or things that are almost an accident, like an an open manhole cover or a trip hazard or something that is not, that is a possibility of an accident.
This is Megan.
Death, there are 30 minor accidents, 10 serious accidents. And so this is the pyramid. So the idea behind this analysis is that you can't really minimize without attacking the number of near misses. If you can get rid of
unless you have
misses, then you'll reduce the number of deaths. And that's a nice way to approach safety in an organization. So what risk management has done is they have created a near miss program where they actually incentivize employees to report near misses. And they actually give out these little candy bars. Say, thank you for reporting this near miss. All you need to do is text or email or give a phone call when you see a dangerous situation, a missing railing or a trip hazard or anything else that could possibly cause an accident. Email that to me or to risk management, and you will be receiving one of these, or any of your people will be receiving one of these in the mail, just as a thank you for conscientiously reporting near misses. The more near misses we can log and report, the fewer accidents we'll have. And I have about a couple dozen of these in my office that are ready to hand out immediately, and I'll see to that you get them. Even if this is, I'm sure this is not the reason you're doing these near miss reports. We're doing near miss reports so that we can reduce accidents, but we'll make sure that we say thank you for that. Are there any questions about this? Okay.
Yeah, one quick thing, Dave, I'll just add too, is also those who are doing great safety things within your groups. It's about a $50 reward, I think, we give out for people who get nominated. We choose a couple winners in the safety committee, the campus safety committee. So if you have people doing good safety things, tell them to Dave, and Dave will bring them to the safety committee meeting. He's one of the members, and we actually give out a pretty nice like $50 award to those doing really great things. They put them in a group and they choose a handful of people. So just a thought.
And there's no limit on the number that we can give out, right, Dave?
Yep, you're right. Yep.
So here under 4 is the near miss program. And once again, a near miss is just an accident waiting to happen. Something that if we don't do something about it, eventually somebody's going to be injured. And that's what we consider a near miss. And so we're trying to really promote that program. And we record these. It is good for BYU's safety record to have a record of near misses that have been reported. It's just really helpful. If OSHA were to come and do an audit, that would be a good thing for them to see, that we are recording near misses and addressing them on a regular basis. All right, number 5 is ergonomics. We actually have, and I'm going to show you right here, this is a little 2-page flyer on ergonomics. It talks quite a bit about office ergonomics. We do a lot of sitting these days, and I'm going to email this out to all of you with the minutes, but it talks about how to set up your computer, how high your chair should be, how high your screen should be. It talks about what size of chair you need, what kind of, where you should put your keyboard. It gives some really good information about ergonomics for an office worker. And so I'll send this out, and you can let those who work in your shop offices have a copy of this. And it's good for home as well, to just be conscientious about how you do office work. In addition to that, there's a link on here that goes to the risk management program for ergonomic safety. And I wanted to mention that there are 2 Y-Train modules, one called Office Ergonomics, just do a search on Office Ergonomics, but there's also one called General Ergonomics that goes beyond the office. In fact, it doesn't even address much about the office. It talks about other work practices that will help us to avoid injury in grounds or in the shop. It's a very, very good Y-Train. And I recommend, we were gonna maybe watch it, but we don't have time before we need to end this meeting. So I recommend that between now and our next meeting in November, we all get in and watch this General Ergonomics Y-Train.
Can I interject here real quick?
Yes.
Okay, as a truck driver, and I'm often in up to 4 different trucks in a day. It does not touch that at all.
Oh, the General Ergonomics one doesn't?
Yeah, and the ergonomics in trucks, especially if you sit in them all day, is vital. And so I'm actually working with risk management and Scott Sherwood trying to get the garbage truck and the 3 trucks that we have that are that style changed because they are so poorly built.
Oh, would it be helpful for us to do a little upgrade on our General Ergonomics Y-Train? Because we can do that to include ergonomics in the vehicle.
I think so, but
okay.
You know, some things, just because of the number of stuffs we add on after we buy vehicles, it makes it really, really hard.
Okay, I will make that recommendation to Amber McWhirter. See if we can maybe add a slide or 2 to this General Ergonomics Y-Train that would address ergonomics in a vehicle. I like that idea. Thank you. Okay, back to our agenda. The last item is our concerns log. Now remember, in our first meeting, I mentioned we were going to keep a log of concerns that we would address and give you updates on. None were brought up in our meeting, but I added a couple of things that were on the agenda of our meeting that I said we would be doing so that we could track those. The first one, there is installation of MSDS Online website shortcut and the QR code on all shop computers. Now we have 17 shops, and I was going to reach out and meet with each of you shop committee members before this meeting. I've met with 12 of you so far, and we've installed it on all your shop computers that make sense. And I've given out these little QR codes that you can post up everywhere. So we have 5 more shops that I'm yet to do. 2 of them I'll be doing this afternoon. But that's the update on what's happening with the MSDS Online rollout. We'll keep that there on the concerns log until we have it all complete. B is the Y-Train upgrade. Now I mentioned last time that there is a new learning management system, or LMS, that BYU has contracted with. It's called Absorb, and it's the platform on which our Y-Train courses reside. And so we're moving to this new Absorb LMS. We here in physical facilities have 164 courses that we've created over the several years of the past. And so all of those courses have now been, they've been reformatted and zipped so that we can upload them to the new Absorb software, and 90 of them have been uploaded as of yesterday. We hope, I've been able to upload maybe a half a dozen to 10 each day, depending on how much time I have. And so within the next week or 2, I should be able to have all 164 of those in Absorb. And once those are in Absorb, we will be able to move over to the new Absorb. Now, it won't look any different as far as logging in. You'll log in the same way as you have to Y-Train, but once you get in, it'll be a different look and feel. And then, so what we'll do is we'll have a little overview in this meeting on the new Absorb once we're getting ready to move over. All right, are there any other concerns from any of you that you'd like us to add to our concerns log? I'm going to add the vehicle ergonomics to it. Now's your time to unmute and share if you'd like. Okay, I guess that's all we have then for today. Thank you so much. Once again, I've recorded this. I will send out the recorded final product to everyone. I may have it done by the end of the day, but for sure by tomorrow. And then you can take a look at it if you want. And I will attach to the email all of the documents that we have been discussing as well. Thank you so much for participating. And our next meeting will be on Tuesday, November 10th at 10 a.m.